In this video, I'll finally show you how to divide numbers in Cartesian form. Let's first remember how division in polar form works. So we'll assume we have some complex number z, and that its polar form is re to the I theta. And we'll also have a different number, omega, and its polar form we'll assume is se to the I psi. Now remember that omega's complex conjugate, that is omega bar, is then equal to se to the negative I psi. Now how do we compute z divided by omega? Well, let's write out the numbers. So we have re to the I theta divided by se to the I psi. And now here comes the trick. Note that omega bar divided by omega bar is still equal to 1. Now we just have a number, we're dividing it by itself, so we end up with 1. So I'm going to multiply this number by omega bar over omega bar, which is just se to the negative I psi divided by se to the negative I psi. Now first note that we can simplify this by canceling the s's, and then combining terms to give us re to the I theta minus psi divided by sei to the psi minus psi. And then the psi's cancel, and we end up with what we actually computed in an earlier video, which is re to the I theta minus psi divided by s. So why did we go through all this work? Well, I want to point out this term. What is this equal to in terms of z, omega, and omega bar? Well, it's just z divided by omega times omega bar divided by omega bar. More explicitly, this is equal to z divided by omega. And this is going to tell us how to divide numbers when they're in Cartesian form. Now let's do it for numbers in Cartesian form. So we'll assume, again, we have some complex number z, with Cartesian form a plus bi. And then we'll assume we have some other complex number omega, and its Cartesian form is c plus di. Then the complex conjugate of omega, omega bar, is equal to c minus di. So how do we compute z divided by omega? Well, we know that it's equal to z divided by omega times omega bar over omega bar. That's what we previously computed. So then just plugging in our values for z, omega, and omega bar, we get the following terrible formula for how you divide complex numbers in Cartesian form. Okay, let's do an example. So we'll do 3 plus 2i divided by 1 plus I. And the first thing we do is multiply by 1 minus I divided by 1 minus I. This is the complex conjugate of the denominator, and I'll expand that out to write 3 minus 3i plus 2i minus 2i squared divided by 1 minus I plus I minus I squared. Then remember, I squared is equal to negative 1. We can simplify this into 3 plus 2 minus 3i plus 2i divided by, let's cancel these i's, and then we have 1 plus 1. Simplifying this, we get 5 minus I divided by 2. And that's where I'm going to end this video.